Alright guys, Nathan here, obviously from the Paranormal Detectives. Just a bit of a different video tonight, a bit of a quick one. Basically I've got some time to myself of an evening and I thought, why not make a video? Me and Brian have been quite inactive, very inactive in fact. I know, as I've touched on recently, during the odd live and stuff, we've had a lot of illnesses in the family. Brian's changed his job and I'm in the process of moving house, which is stressful. Well, not stressful, but it's taken up a lot of my time. It's exciting, to be fair. Nice old house. Previous owner died there, so never know. Might get some hauntings at home. I don't know how the rest of the family would feel about that, but I'd quite enjoy it. But yeah, basically, as I always do, I've been reading paranormal books, doing paranormal research. Although I'm not producing videos, or I haven't been for a little while, my head's still very firmly in it, and it's still a massive part of my life. And today I've actually been reading this book, Haunted Places of Shropshire. It's another one that's been on my shelf for years that I've only just got around to reading. Basically my thoughts were, like I said, I got the evening to myself. Why not have a drive around? Shropshire's not that far away. Have a drive around, look at some of these locations. The time is, it's about 9 o'clock, so it'll be quite late by the time I get there. I thought, have a drive around to each of these locations, these haunted lanes, etc. Read the story from the location while we're there. Let you guys have a butcher's and see what you think. See if I can see any sort of rational reasons behind the hauntings, or see if anything sticks out that could prove it's potentially not haunted. Yeah, I thought I'd have a butcher's. So yeah, that's the plan. I'll get going. Obviously, as I've touched on, we haven't actually created many videos lately, but we do have a lot coming up. I know we always say that, but we genuinely have. There's a lot of locations we've got planned and have had planned for a long time that we will be hitting very soon. Me and Brian have spoken, and we are getting back into it very soon. And as I've put on social media, looking forward to Halloween. COVID's obviously, I think it's done a lot of damage, but largely it's destroyed a lot of people's social lives. And there's people walking down now, not far from Dale's grave. I wonder if they're going there. Yeah, it's destroyed people's social lives and friendship groups, and I think what we want to do to sort of signify, hopefully, what's more or less the end of COVID, is actually bring people back together. So we want anyone involved in the paranormal community, people who watch us, other groups, anyone with an interest, to basically meet us on Halloween. I think it'll probably be the Saturday, not the Sunday, because a lot of people have work on the Monday, so we'll probably aim for the Saturday, and basically meet up, have a mass investigation, as many people there as we can, and just see what people think to the place. You never know, maybe the black-eyed child will show her face, or one of the other phenomena of Cannock Chase. There's lots there. Yeah, mainly just to bring people together. I think one of the greatest things that have come out of the paranormal world for myself and Brian is the amount of friends we've made, and not just acquaintances, but good friends. And I think we'd like to continue that massively. So hopefully Halloween will be another good event, and we'll meet more people. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to head off, and I'm going to head towards the first location, Bridge Northway. There. Here we go. Obviously, when I do these investigations, I say investigation, I wouldn't call it an investigation as such tonight, more of a gentle glance. But when I do these, I'm usually with Brian or with someone, so heading to the location alone, particularly new locations, might be quite creepy actually, I don't know. Might be quite a creepy vibe, we'll have to see. Anyway, I'm going to head off and I'll start recording again when I'm a bit closer to the location. Just arriving now at Cotton Lane. This is our first location. It's the first location in the book by Cotton Hall. There's actually a picture in the book. I'm trying to find. I think I found it. I think I found where the actual picture's taken in the book. So it might be a nice reference point. Here I have. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Right. Always lock the doors just in case. Right. So yeah, I am at Cotton Lane. First stop, we're in South Shropshire, so we're not far from Bridgnorth. Alverley is the location, Cotton Lane, Alverley. What I'll do, I'll start off, I'll read you the story of the location, we'll go from there. You can actually see the lane here. I don't know where you can see the lights. The picture there is literally where I'm parked. So I'll flip my camera in a minute so you can see. Right, the story. The village of Alverley lies strung out along the old main road south of Bridgnorth, where the hills crowd down to the floodplain of the River Severn. It is on Astley Bank, one of the lanes that run down the hills, that the most dramatic of Alverley ghosts is to be seen. So that's, I think that joins onto this. I think that's the road behind me. So we'll drive down there on the way back. I thought I saw something behind me then. Well, I'm guessing it's just my finger. A bit creepy. Yeah, I guess I'll just imagine that. Maybe it's the reflection of my finger on the windscreen, I don't know. The ghost is of a tall man dressed all in black and wearing a wide brimmed hat, which is also black. He strides along with great purpose, as if determined to get somewhere with some urgency. Where he is going and why are as enigmatic as his identity. This is simply one of those ghosts which stalk out of the supernatural world whence they come, march across the mortal world and then fade again a few seconds later. That's a really creepy image. Something else to note tonight, it is actually a full moon. It's the perfect full moon tonight, which I had no idea about when I left, so that's a bonus. That's something I do believe in. I do believe in I don't want to say the power of the full moon, because I don't quite understand that, but from personal experience, nights with full moons always tend to be quite active, so yeah, maybe once again it's subconscious, I don't know. More easily identifiable is the phantom horseman who rides up the lane from Alverley Woods towards Colton Hall, Colton Lane. To the east, riding a prancing white pony of apparent good temper. This young teenage lad wears a suit of the 19th century cut. This is the ghost of a boy who lived at Colton Hall in Victorian times and was given a white pony for Christmas. 1 year, just a few days later, the pony was found wandering riderless along the lane. A search soon found the body of a boy lying in the roadway near the foot of the hill beneath a tree. Quite what happened was never discovered, but the boy's neck was broken and his forehead had suffered a heavy blow. Nice. It was put down as just another riding accident until the ghosts began to appear. Local gossip soon had it that there had been foul play of some kind involved in the boy's death. Not feeling comfortable here. And that this had led to the haunting. If so, the ghost does not communicate in any obvious fashion by pointing at a place or speaking, for instance. He simply rides up the lane as if without a care in the world. So that's the story. It's very, very dark. As much as it's a full moon, it's covered, if that makes sense. It's full, but the cloud coverage is quite a lot, so you can't really see that much. What I'm going to do, I'm actually going to drive down the lane now, and I believe the tree where, well, I can't say it is the tree, but at the bottom of the hill there's a tree that overhangs the road, and there's something about that tree that just makes me think it's a tree in the story where he was found. It's the right location. It's an old tree. You can't see it too well from the road, but it does overhang the road. So I'm going to drive back down there now. Obviously going to film so you guys can see what I can see, and we'll have a look, see if anything's obvious. I can't see anything around here that would imitate somebody riding a white horse or somebody riding a black horse with a black hat. I don't know. Perhaps coming up the hill, maybe shadows can be cast. I don't know, maybe at sunset could cause that, but very unlikely. There's not a lot around here, to be honest. So anyway, I'm going to flip the camera and we'll have a look as we drive back down. As you can see, this is quite a creepy ass location to be on your own, even in a car, to be honest, because if something appeared now, I'm not entirely sure how I'd feel about that. Probably panic, if in all honesty. So as we come down here now, the tree that I'm on about is actually, you can't really see it as a tree, but it actually overhangs the road. Where I am now, it's just on the right, it's covered by the bush, but I would say we're directly underneath it now. It's just on the right, and this is the location where I believe they found the boy. It's a sad story, really. Was foul play involved? I don't know. Nothing about the story makes me think foul play was involved. If you fell off a horse, you probably would hit your head and you would potentially break your neck. It's, without being unkind, it's probably one of the most common deaths from falling from a horse. So for foul play to be involved, I don't know, it doesn't make much sense to me. Also, for the boy to be riding up and down so merrily and so happily makes me think there isn't, no, it's just a reflection of a sign. Makes me think it's probably he died unknowingly almost, and maybe he's just reliving his final moments. Anyway, coming to the end of the lane now. I'm going to head to the next location, and I'm going to try and get another 2 locations done before it gets too late. Unfortunately, it took a bit longer to get here than I realised. So I'll meet you at the next location. Right, here we are at a second location. Yeah, just need to find somewhere to pull over, and I'll get the old book out again. over, to be honest. Not really going to pull over. Keep on looking. All the pull-ins seem to be the other side of the road. Here we go. There's something. Alright, so here we are. We've arrived in, it's actually a place called Badger, central Shropshire. It's a bit further out for me to get to this one. It took quite a while. Right, so let's have a read about this one. This is a strange story, to be honest. Well, I'll read it and see what you guys think. The church at Badger stands beside a wide pond, fringed by bushes and inhabited by ducks and geese. Sorry, my reading's gone to pot. Beyond the pond once stood the elegant Georgian mansion of Badger Hall. The old house is gone, now having been demolished in the 1930s, but its site and the route to the church are still haunted by the beautiful Grey Lady of Badger. When she is seen, the ghost is so lifelike that some have mistaken her for a real person. She has long golden hair that falls in waves to her back and has a charming smile that some believe has a somewhat sad tinge to it. Her dress is long and full in the skirt, though tighter around the body. Although widely known as the Grey Lady of Badger, her dress is often said to be cream or even pale pink in colour. Now that's interesting, because I've read hundreds of stories about grey ladies. They seem to pop up in all counties across the whole of the UK, to be honest. But that's interesting that I've never heard of one being pale pink in colour. Obviously the grey ladies represented, or said to represent, tragedy, or loss of an infant or loved one. But why it would manifest itself in pink, I don't know. Perhaps it's just what she was wearing when she passed, or a favourite dress. I don't know. How she wants to be remembered, I don't know. It's not entirely clear who this lady was, nor why she flits so restlessly between the old manor and the lakeside church. However, when the hall was being demolished, workmen found a stout wooden casket hidden beneath some flagstones. Inside was hidden an impressively large engagement ring. Did this hark back to some broken engagement that led to a broken heart? We don't know, but given the sad smile of the beautiful young lady ghost of Badger, it is more than likely. See, I struggle with that. If you've got a ghost that's got a smile, or, I mean, to even see that much, to see her face that clearly that you can say it's smiling, how to be able to call it a sad smile, that's very precise. And just because a ring was found underneath the building or in the casket, to link that to a ghost story is, I don't know, I would say, I'm not saying it's impossible, it could be possible, but it's a very big jump, to say the least. It's a bit of a guess, that one, if you ask my opinion. Anyway, time's getting on, so I'm not going to stay at this location too long. I'll be honest, the last location I felt a bit creeped out. This one, not really feeling anything. So I'm going to drive up where she's supposedly seen, which is down here basically. I'll flip the camera again so you guys can see what I can see, and then I'm going to promptly head off to the last location. The last location, the story is probably the one I find the most eerie, to be honest, and definitely the most plausible. So anyway, I'm going to flip the camera now and let you guys see what I can see. I'm going to be honest, all of these stories, they're all creepy, especially just being here. I think being in the location and reading what's cited is just creepy in itself. It's like myself and Brian, we are hoping to head back to 30 East Drive, Pontefract at some point. And we would very much like to watch When the Lights Go Out, obviously the film that was made about East Drive, but we'd like to watch it at East Drive to see if it creates any, it brings back any sort of memories, almost a Singapore theory. The one thing I think that's a shame with that film, I think it's a shame it wasn't filmed inside 30 East Drive. So I think that really could have stirred something up, sort of recreating what happened. But either way, still be interesting to do. So yeah, this is the lane where the grey lady, or pink lady, or cream lady as she's sometimes seen, apparently, sometimes seen as, is seen. I can't disprove it. All I can say is, from a personal point of view, I'm not really sensing a lot, but then again, who knows, maybe it's the wrong night. I'm getting some very peculiar smells though, literally just turning around then I got the smell of like stagnant water, which is strange. Not a nice smell to have inside your car, actually. That's not nice at all. So anyway, that's the story of the Grey Lady. I know it's a bit fast from location to location tonight, but it is just a short video. To be honest, this is the sort of thing I come out often and do on my own. I know Brian does the same, and it's not something we usually film. It's just we go to these places and have a look, and they're not really big enough to actually perform big investigations and take all our equipment to. But if anybody's actually interested in enjoying this video and wants to see more, just let us know, because it's not a problem just to film our little outings like this. But obviously, like I said, it's not the sort of thing that we bring all our equipment to or anything like that. So anyway, I'm not feeling too much from this location, so I'm going to head to the last location now, which I believe is called Astley Abbots. And the story there is, I'll be honest, it's not very nice. It chilled me a little bit when I read it at home. So anyway, I'll see you at the next location. So here we are at Astley Abbots. That's a nice little pull-in straight away here. Just flip the camera around. Yeah, so here we are at Astley Abbots, which is the creepiest location for me, or I say creepiest location, it's the creepiest story for me, for two reasons. One, because of the story that's in the book. Two, because after reading the book I was actually talking to a friend of mine, our fellow investigator. His name's Mike. Him and his friend Liam actually investigated down this lane, and since then they've called it Death Lane, because basically when they're investigating, apparently two pigeons dropped out of the sky and landed near them. Oh, poor driving. Stony dead. I've never investigated here, it's the first time I've ever been here. They have mentioned it to me in the past, but it's only after reading the book and making reference to it that I actually linked the two places together and realised it was the same place. So yeah, I'm a little bit on edge here. It's just sort of fields, forests around. So anyway, I'm going to read the story, because I've got exactly, I think, about 4 minutes left on my recording. Since I've been recording tonight, my SD cards in my phone somehow got corrupt, so I'm having to actually use just the internal memory, which is typically practically full. Thankfully it does tell me how long I've got left, so at least I'm not going to lose my footage. Here we are, Astley Abbots. This is a story. Some strange tragedy led to the double haunting at Astley Abbots, though exactly what happened has never been discovered. The events began innocently enough on a summer's Sunday in early Victorian days. The vicar stopped a young couple who were due to be married in 3 weeks' time and suggested that they might like to come to church one evening to discuss the service and anything they might require in the way of organ music or bells. The girl, Hannah Phillips, lived just beyond the Severn, near Lower Allscott. What the fuck is that noise? It sounded like somebody shaking a metal fence or something. I don't know if my camera picked that up, but that wasn't very fucking nice. Okay, anyway, let's continue with the story before I shit myself and drive off. Oh dear. God, where was I? Hannah lived just beyond the Severn near Lower Allscott. Come the agreed evening, she set off from home to cross the shallow ford and walk up to the church at Astley Abbots. Her fiancé and the vicar awaited her arrival. To please his bride-to-be, the fiancé was dressed in his new wedding suit. The two men waited and waited, but young Hannah did not arrive. As the long summer evening began to turn to dusk, the worried men set out along the path Hannah should be taking from her home to the church. They found nothing. No sign of Hannah or any indication that anything might have happened to her. The girl was never seen again. It was supposed that she must have slipped when crossing the Severn and drowned in the deep waters below the ford, but nobody ever really knew. Seriously, if something come up to my window now, I'd shit myself. No wonder the paranormal boys shit themselves when I crept up on them the other day. I actually feel a bit guilty now, because this is creepy as. Over the years since, the ghost of poor Hannah Phillips has been seen frequently following the fatal path from her home, over the Severn and to the church. It is perhaps odd that the ghost should walk all the way to the church, when in reality, the girl was determined to cover. Sorry, perhaps the spectre is... Fuck me, I'm losing my track here. Sorry guys, I've forgotten how to read. Fear can do some funny things to you. I am genuinely really on edge here after hearing that gate. Hannah Phillips has been seen frequently following the fatal path from her home, over the Severn and onto the church. It is perhaps odd that the ghost should walk all the way to the church, when in reality Hannah never got there. Perhaps the spectre is tracing the steps that the girl was determined to cover, rather than the route she actually did take. Or perhaps Hannah Phillips was not drowned in the Severn, but come to a grim death nearer to the church. Now that story is not just upsetting, it's freaky. And I totally get why a spirit would roam and continue to make that journey. And that, with what I've been told, really does make me believe that this road is haunted. As I am down and I've got barely any time left, I'm going to drive down this road now and let you guys see, and who knows, we might see Hannah Phillips. Right, so here we go. Hopefully my memory lasts on the phone. So we're going to drive the path now that Hannah would have walked. Even just saying that, it's actually sending chills down my spine. But interestingly, what I didn't actually read out is that the ghost of her husband, well, I say husband, her fiance, her husband to be, is actually also seen walking down this path in what would have been his wedding suit. He died shortly after Hannah did. Could it have been foul play? Could she have been murdered on the way? Could she have fallen into the river? Seems unlikely to me. Seems unlikely that she would be messing around near the river or something like that on such an important day. You know, maybe it was complete accident, but I don't know, I struggle to believe it. It just seems too coincidental to me. If I had to make a guess, I would probably say there was a third party involved in the relationship, and maybe an admirer of Hannah's who was angry or bitter or jealous. Maybe he knew the arrangements and murdered her. Which, if that's true, he could have done it at any point down this road. Perhaps she was hit on the head from behind or something. Maybe she doesn't even know that she was murdered. Maybe her ghost is still just following the same path, totally unaware of the fact that she's dead. Anyway, we're coming out of the area now. This is my last location for tonight. As I've said before, it's only a short video. If you like what you've seen and you want us to do more little videos like this week to week, let us know. If you've got any local ghost stories local to the West Midlands that you'd like us to check out, obviously get in touch. We're just passing the church now where Hannah never made it to. Yeah, so on that note, I'm going to head off home and research some more spooky stories. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep seeking the truth. Thank you. Good night.